1 Samuel 25. Death of Samuel. Samuel died, and all Israel gathered to mourn him. They buried him in his home in Ramah. Then David went down to the wilderness of Paran, Nabal and Abigail. There was a man of Man who had property in Carmel. He was very wealthy, owning 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats. At the time, he was present for the shearing of his flock at Carmel. The man's name was Nabal, and his wife Abigail. The woman was intelligent and attractive, but Nabal, a Calebite, was harsh and bad-mannered. While in the wilderness, David heard that Nabal was shearing his flock. So he sent 10 young men, instructing them, "Go up to Carmel, pay Nabal a visit, and greet him in my name. Say to him, 'Peace be with you, my brother, and with your family, and with all who belong to you. I have just heard that shearers are with you. Now when your shepherds were with us, we did them no injury, neither did they miss anything while they were in Carmel. Ask your servants, and they will tell you. Look kindly on these young men, since we come at a festival time. Please give your servants and your son David whatever you can.'" When David's young men arrived, they delivered the entire message to Nabal in David's name, and then waited. But Nabal answered his servants of David, "Who is David? Who is the son of Jesse? Grayson, get down. Nowadays there are many servants who run away from their masters. Must I take my bread and my wine, my meat, I have slaughtered for my own shearers, and give them to men who come from who knows where?" So David's young men retraced their steps and returned to report to him all that had been said. Thereupon David said to his men, "Let everyone strap on his sword," and everyone did so. David put on his own sword. After 400 men went up after David, while 200 remained in the baggage. Abigail, Nabal's wife, was informed of this by his servants, who said, "From the wilderness David sent messengers to greet our master, but he screamed at them. Yet those men are very good to us. We were not harmed, neither did we miss anything, all the while we were living among them during our stay in the country. Day and night they were a wall of protection for us, the whole time we were pasturing sheep near them. Now, see what you can do, for you must realize that the otherwise were disaster is in store for our master and his whole house. He is such a scoundrel that no one can talk to him." Abigail quickly got together 200 loaves, 2 skins of wine, 5 dressed sheep, 5 seahs of roast grain, 100 cakes of pressed raisin, 200 cakes of pressed figs, and loaded them on the donkeys. She then said to her servants, "Go on ahead, I will follow you." But to her husband Nabal she said nothing. Hidden by the mountains, she came down riding on a donkey. As David and his men were coming down from the opposite direction, she met them. David had just been saying, "Indeed, it was in vain that I guarded all this man's possessions in the wilderness, so that none of his was missing, as he repaid good with evil. May God do thus to David, and more, if by morning I leave a single male alive among all those who belong to him." As soon as Abigail saw David, she dismounted quickly from the donkey, and falling down, bowed low on the ground before David in homage. As she fell at his feet, she said, "My lord, let the blame be mine. Please let your maidservant speak to you. Listen to the words of your maidservant. My lord, do not pay any attention to the scoundrel Nabal, for he is just like his name. His name means fool, and he acts like a fool. He acts the fool. I, your maidservant, did not see the young man whom the Lord sent. Now therefore, my lord, as the Lord lives, and you as you live, the Lord has kept you from shedding blood, from avenging yourself even by your own hand. May your enemies and those who seek harm to my lord become as Nabal. Accept this gift then which your lord maidservant has brought for my lord, and let it be given to the young men who follow my lord. Please forgive the offense of your maidservant, for the Lord shall certainly establish a lasting house for my Lord, because my Lord fights the battles of the Lord. Let no evil be found in your whole life long. If any adversary pursues you and seeks your life, may the life of my Lord be bound in the bundle of the living, in care of the Lord your God. May God hurl out the lives of your enemies as from the hollow of a sling. And when the Lord fulfills for my Lord the promise of success he has made concerning you, and appoints you as ruler over Israel, you shall not have any regrets or burdens on your conscience, my Lord, for having shed innocent blood, or for having rescued yourself. When the Lord bestows good on my Lord, remember your maidservant. David said to Abigail, Blessed is the Lord God of Israel, who sent you to meet me today. Blessed is your judgment, and blessed are you yourself. Today you have prevented me from shedding blood and rescuing myself with my own hand. Otherwise, as the Lord, the God of Israel lives, who has kept me from harming you, if you had not come down so promptly to meet me, by dawn Nabal would not have had so much as one male left alive. David then took her and what he brought him, and said to her, Go to your home in peace. See, I have listened to your appeal and have granted your request. Nabal's death. When Abigail came to Nabal, he was hosting a banquet in his house, like that of a king. Nabal was in festive mode and very drunk, so she said not a word until daybreak the next morning. But then, when Nabal was sober, his wife told him what happened, and his heart died within him. He became like stone. About 10 days later, the Lord struck Nabal, and he died. Hearing that Nabal was dead, David said, Blessed be the Lord who defended my cause against the insult from Nabal, and who restrained his servant from doing evil, but has repaid Nabal for his evil deeds. David marries Abigail and Ahinoam. David then sent a proposal of marriage to Abigail. When David's servant came to Abigail on Carmel, they said to her, David has sent us to make his proposal of marriage to you. Rising and bowing to the ground, she answered, Let your maidservant be a slave who washes the feet of my Lord's servants. She got up immediately and mounted a donkey and followed David's messengers with her 5 maids attending her. She became his wife. David also married Ahinoam of Jezreel. Thus both of them were his wives, but Saul gave David his wife Michal, Saul's daughter, to Palti, son of Laish, who was from Galim.